Oh boy, here comes Robert calling for the end of days again. Hello, everybody. I'm going to attempt to talk about what I see going on and what I think is happening. And it's not good. It's terrible, in fact. And most of it centers around I really think this toy thing is about to crash. Now, what does that mean? I'll get to at the end of the video. But let me talk about a few heavy points. The first being price and value. Now, Mattel, the Origins figures are around 20. I've seen people putting them out for 17 still. Not sure what's going on there. Amazon does that a lot. So I'm not sure what that is. The Masterverse, I believe, are 22. I haven't bought a Masterverse since King Randor, so I might be wrong on that. I think the price went up $1.23. I don't know. Okay. I do know Marvel Legends is 27. I know G.I. Joe Classified is 27. I know Star Wars Black Series is 27. And I know none of them are worth that price. 25 was overpriced to begin with. But pushing them to 27 just... And if the rumors are true that they're going to 30, forget it. Now, one thing I noticed. I bought Werewolf by Night for 25 on Amazon because he was listed as 25. Amazon honored the price. And I got him. The figure is not worth $10. That's an Ollie's figure. And that's what I mean about the value. No extra heads, no extra hands. Total reuse of a figure that we already had from 2016. It's not there. And then you look at the rest of the wave. Well, you got Warbow, who reuses Crystar. You gotta reuse, you gotta get part reuse. And we knew that was gonna happen, but... And from what I understand, Warbow is shorter than Crystar, but nobody cares, right? You have the Phantom Rider. Good one in my eye, but good character selection. His design does not leave a lot for deco, so you're just talking about a white piece of plastic. It is one that you would put into a wave to kind of cut costs, because that's the design of the character. But when you put him in with this wave, it's like, oh my god. The Iron Man doesn't look half bad, but I wouldn't have bought it otherwise, if it wasn't for Executioner. That's why I call this a hostage wave. The Enchantress, I understand why she's included. I don't see a whole lot new. The new arms, yeah, I think everything else is the same. There's a new effect. Yeah, so we got a little bit of new there, but not a whole lot. You see my point yet? This is a wave of duds. It really is. I was only interested in Werewolf by Night and Phantom Rider until the Build-A-Figure got revealed. We begged for an Executioner forever. We got one in the Marvel Universe line. We never got one in the Marvel Legend line. To the point, I actually bought that damn Hela and Scourge 2-pack to use him temporarily until they got us one. And yeah, still. But I got that for $20. So, Jesus. Wait, see that calms down. But of course, I expected so much less with this wave. But when I got Werewolf by Night in hand, it was so much worse. I knew it was reuse from 2016. The joints were gummier and shit. I'm like, my god, this is a character that is an easy home run. You had a very successful Halloween special not that long ago. People have been clamoring for a Werewolf by Night. This should have been easy. Easy home run. It's a gutter ball. I hate to say that, but it's a gutter ball. And then, talking about value, there's nothing extra with him. It's like, what the hell? Where's the rest of the figure? Something I can use. No, nothing. No extra head, no extra hands. Nothing. That's pretty shameful. But you start looking around. These figures have been coming with nothing for a long time. I mean, and then they have the audacity to up the price after that. They're cutting too many corners, and too many people are just like, nah, this ain't cutting it. I'm looking at a bunch of the 2-packs coming out right now, and I'm like, if they hit clearance, fine. Otherwise, no. I mean, for the most part, no, I'm not going to do it. Related to that is QC issues again. Like I said, this Werewolf by Night had the gummiest damn limbs I've ever seen. And I kind of was warned about that, but still, when I got it, I was like, shit. It's terrible. And that's, I mean, we've been dealing with this gummy joint thing for years. And it's always very random. You never know which figures are going to get hit by it. And you have gummy weapons in G.I. Joe. And when one of my most unforgivable things was when Lenny, Lenny said it was about child safety, and it was like, we know you're full of shit. Thank God Bobby Valve called him out on that too. But we knew you were full of shit. But it doesn't get addressed. Nothing gets done. But I just came back from a trip. Long story short, my daughter had some doctor appointments. Nothing major, just some checkup stuff. And, visited some family while we were there, my wife's family. And, of course, I did a little toy hunting. And something surprised me. Both my stepson and my in-laws live in larger towns than I do. So, usually when I go to the toy stores, Walmart, there's a lot more there. And to my surprise, and I filmed this, and I'm going to put it in a video, but the shelves at Walmart looked like my rinky-dink Walmart, only expanded. No Marvel Legends. None. Not even the caps. Not even the... Was it Spider-Man and Cap? I lost track. Who was the last re-released? Spider-Man and Cap, I think. Not even those were there. No. The only Marvel Legends that were in the place were some Black Panther ones that were on clearance. I believe it was Shuri. I can't remember exactly. I looked around. There was no G.I. Joe Classified. No Marvel Masters of the Universe. Barely any. And I mean barely any Star Wars. Like the $30 Stormtroopers was all there was. No, there wasn't the collector thing either, okay? This was non-existent across the board. They were not in the damn store. And that caught me because of how many stores are doing this. I know some of them have that little island thing where the wrestlers go, but the wrestling looked bad. I mean, the wrestling had a smaller space and didn't have as much. Cody Rhodes might be the new Hodo. But if the toys aren't reaching the mass retail, that's a sign. And I know some people want to say we're in this new age now where it's all the internet. And I'm like, yeah, well, I've lived in toy hell for a long time, and I don't see it that way. I've had to depend on the internet to get my collection. It's a thing. You just have to. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people not finding nothing. And there's the closeout market. Let's face it. So much shit went to Ollie's and to wherever would take it. It's like when my daughter got that Karate Kid Power Rangers mashup. And she's, of course, too young for it. And I just put it in my collection, and then I got the rest of the series for $20. I mean, wow. What does that tell you? That wasn't that long. That was last year, I think. And, dude, you go to Ollie's, still, there are mountains of Legends, of Black Series. India's starting to fall out. I don't know if they're ever going to get rid of the Phoebe Waller-Bridges of that bunch, but shoo. Everything else is gone. You got Ross picking it up. You've got... Yeah, it's not good. And, you know, I remember there was someone who said that someone in PR at Hasbro said, we have to retrain customers to not to wait for the clearance. Training is not going well. They're still going to clearance. Yeah, during my trip, I saw that 3-pack of Gambit, Psylocke. I think it was Gambit, Psylocke, and Banshee. A popular 3-pack that I had no attachment to because I never liked those suits. But some people did. At clearance for $20 at Ollie's. What does that tell you? And then we got down to character selection. Where are we with our characters? How many more Spider-Men can we get? I know Spider-Man sells and they somehow figure it out with Spider-Man, but that is not an evergreen thing. Eventually that well's going to run dry too. Daredevil is picking up steam. That's one. But you know the rest. And I mean, you got a guy like me who is like, yeah, I like those characters, but I'm only going to get a couple of them. Somehow, even though I have all my Wolverines. I don't know how that happened, but we won't get into that. But I am not a person that will pick up a whole lot of action figures of the same character. I will avoid it whenever possible. That said, all the guys I like do end up going to clearance, like Frogman, Orb, Sleepwalker, Darkhawk, Machine Man, Blink. But these are all some of my favorite characters, and it's like, you know, I like obscure characters. That's me talking. But you put all this together and line it up, it's like, ooh, this is a recipe for disaster. You can't keep pumping out the stuff the way they have, at the price they're going, and at the low quality they're doing, and it not come back and bite you in the ass. And it is about to bite them in the ass. I can feel it. I can feel Marvel survived. You know, you're a guy, the sky's falling. I'm like, yeah, I am. You know why? Because I've seen the sky fall. And I remember the last time it happened. Right around 2014, I kept seeing signs. I kept pointing to it saying, look, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. And it happened. The toy collecting went to the toilet. Marvel Legends held on by the slightest breath. Then they improved. Now, do I mean all toy collecting? No. I'm talking about it as it is right now. Because this is not sustainable. Now, I think I think Mattel is being smart. I think they're trying to keep the prices down because I did see a jump and then it kind of just pulled back. I think it pulled back because everything I see going to my Walmart is in that $22 range. It jumped up to around $24. I saw some people getting outraged about that, but it hasn't. I'm not sure. We'll see. But I think they're going to be, and let's face it, the wrestling figures is separation from the hardcore toy collectors in many cases. Don't know why that exists. I've talked about it many times, and I'm not going to try to figure it out now. That does seem to be a different animal. Masters of the Universe, that movie's going to have to be damn good for that line to continue. That is almost exclusively internet-based now, from what I'm seeing. I hear of a few stores carrying it, mostly Target. I need to go to the big Walmart near me and see if they still have it, because I haven't looked in there in a while, so that might be something for the weekend, because I usually do that when I'm just wanting to go out and do some exploring. So maybe I will. And then, you have... Okay, so Masters and WWE. Okay, yeah. That's their big ones that are people. Well, listen to me talk. That toy collectors will probably know. Of course, there's the DC line. Now, McFarlane kind of has his own fan base. That's part of the issue there. We have to wait and see what McFarlane people do. But I want to think when Mattel gets DC, it's going to last a little while. I don't think you're going to get Marvel Legends level out of it, but, it'll last for a little while. We're aging out, too. I mean, we're dying. Let's just be honest. We're not going to be here forever. And yes, we are the core audience. You just have to listen to them talk, and we are the core audience. And they put all their eggs in that basket. The guys I think are going to suffer is Hasbro. They don't have a plan B. And I think, they'll get licensing. Legends might cut back a lot. Black Series might cut back a lot. Joe will probably crumble. I know, I sound like a broken record. I just don't see Joe going further. Especially when I saw some people talking about, they got so mad when all that shit got shipped in October. Because I was out at that point. I got Retro Flynn is all I got. I kind of wanted the snake armor for my 118th, but that's a whole different story. But anyway, they got hit all at once with all that stuff. And it hurt. I keep hearing people who just were like frustrated, and they were like, screw it, this isn't fun anymore. I'm sending it all back. I'm not joking. I heard about 3 people say that. And I was like, wow. Now, what does this mean for the indies? I look at, particularly, Mythic Legions, Savage Crucible, and Valaverse. I think those 3 companies are going to be just fine. I think Crucible and Mythics have a similar audience. And Valaverse has kind of its own audience, but a dedicated one. A loyal one. One that wants to support this line. And wants to support the related lines? Best words. And I don't see that falling, but I do think this could slow the growth of those, particularly Valaverse, because Valaverse is still growing. We don't know what heights that company is going to reach. And that could slow down the growth. Not stop it. But also, it could enhance it. There is that possibility. I mean, when you don't have anything else out there, or you have less of it, people go looking around. I mean, I can say this safely. The big days are done. I know people like to say we're in the golden age of action figures. I don't think so. I do think, in all honesty, there's going to be a lot of indie companies who see a bump up. But I'm talking about mass retail. I think this thing has run its course. And we're about to see a major crash. What happens after that will be very interesting. And I think we're seeing the opening volleys of it. And it's about to get worse. But maybe I'm wrong. Never know. But why isn't Marvel Legends at Walmart? Why isn't G.I. Joe or Masters of the Universe at Walmart? That's still... them and Amazon are the two biggest. So you gotta ask that question. And then try to figure it out. Alright. That's all I got. Just wanted to talk over some points. Just again, I'm seeing stuff happening and I'm talking about it. Later.